The issue of big families or small families did not start today. In fact, you would not be wrong to classify this debate as an age-long debate because it is. Which family should I have? Which family size is more reasonable in this day and age? What effect would a small or large family size have on me emotionally, financially, and in other areas? The questions could triple off a chat, and in this episode, our focus is to explore the two types of families, why people might consider one better than the other, and ultimately, which family size is the best fit. This is the Brainfield channel, and we post insightful videos like this all the time. Subscribe to our channel to view more like it. The ideal family size, big or small? Before we go on deciding which family size is ideal, why don't we briefly explain what these size types mean? A small family size comprises 1 or 2 children that are 3 to 5 family members when the parents and guardians are counted. Having a big family size, on the other hand, means the number of children found in the home is, say, 3 or 4. Understand that in family planning, the family size is not a direct translation of the type of family you are. Running on an extended family does not necessarily translate to having a big family size. The major determinant of family size is the number of children dependent on the livelihood of the guardians for survival. Now, let us take a look at the small family size in detail, what it entails to run a small family size alongside the pros and cons of the size of this family. The pros of a small family size. In actuality, the definition of a small family size could differ based on your region, but in more cases than not, these are the significant reasons why people are advised to go for a relatively small family size during family planning. Financial impact. Have you ever sat down to think about the expense it cost your parents or guardian to raise you through your formative years? Cost of toys, trips, birthday parties, and gifts? Not to talk of the compiled expense of hospital bills, feeding, and education. In a small family, while these expenses are constant, the number of children to cater to is greatly reduced, which reduces the amount of money you would be spending if your family had a larger number of dependent children. With this, you have more money to save or divert into other ventures. Better environment. The basic idea of a small family is that the number of persons that are found in the home is manageably small, which makes it a good idea for persons who prefer to keep their space and circle small. When you have a small family size, the issue of insufficient space is never an issue. In a family with 1 child, a 2-bedroom flat will do for many families. If you have 2 children, they can share a bedroom. But a modest 3-bedroom flat or house will absolutely be fine. At most, a 3-bedroom flat would suffice. Emotional care. The act of managing children, especially when they are young, could get very tasking. It requires constant support, rapt attention to words that are not spoken, gestures that would have otherwise been missed, and better guidance. When the family size is small, attention to the child or children is expected. The guardians get to spend more meaningful time with the children, getting them the care and help they require. Cons of a small family size. While the concept of a small family size seems credible and appealing, it is not always green and bright like smiles on a kid's face on Christmas morning. It advances self-centered and self-serving attitudes. It is not uncommon for children who grew up having all the love and attention to themselves to find it hard to make room for the interest of another person. Well, it is not completely their fault. They have been brought up in a way that exposes them to expect such undivided attention and love from every other person, not taking into consideration the effect of their actions on others. Loneliness. Now, this is not really about the present situation, it borders around the future. When the child is all grown, who does he turn to? Especially with small families of a single child, it is usually hard for the children to find people that they can count on, seeing as they have always been alone. Higher probability of being antisocial. Introversion could be an offshoot of small families. This is particularly so when the child is not open to interacting with many friends. They recoil into their shell and find peace with being antisocial. They shut themselves from the outside world, and their world within is destitute of people they could relate with other than their parents. This can make them pretty lonely and introverted. Is a big family size the solution to problems posed by a small family size? The advantages of small family size are indisputably fancy. But with the problems come certain challenges that might be less of an issue if the family size was bigger. Does this mean that having a big family size trumps having a small one? What is so great about the family size that one of the richest men to have walked this earth, Elon Musk, would take to his Twitter handle to tweet in support of big family size? Better support. As humans, one of the things that keep us going is background appreciation. We tend to focus on the praises we get from those that surround us, and this boost of morale further pushes us to do better in what we do. A large family size opens the children to a larger fan base and a stronger support system of siblings from their days as kids to when they grow older. Company. If you have seen one episode of The Loud House, you would understand that the house cannot be still for a minute. Plus, a football pitch is a better view with all the players on board, not just a single star player. It allows room for inclusion in family activities. No child is left behind in feeling antisocial. What's more is that the children do not have to search for a company to entertain themselves outside. They could always count on at least one sibling who would be in the mood to run around the home giggling or engage in mind-tasking activities together. Healthy room for diversity. If you understand that no human being is the same as the other, this advantage of a big family size would make more sense to you. People are created with a difference. Difference in the way they think, characters, strengths, and weaknesses. In a larger family, you are more likely to get a range of children with different personalities and traits. One might be sporty, another could have an interest in academics or have the mindset of a creative. The diversity opens the family to grow as each of these different actions and personalities propel the family to see things from different perspectives and teach how to handle situations in the outside world. Better social skills. That which you begin with stays with you for a very long time. This is the case for socializing. In a big family, you have no choice but to socialize with your family members, and although this could get frustrating when you need your alone time, it braces children up to be able to keep up their appearance in the world. A big family would help grow a child's ability to withstand the crowd, speak up in clear terms in situations, and have sociable skills. Reduced sense of entitlement. You always have to share, even when there is more than enough to have yours to yourself. This is one of the unwritten rules of a big-sized family. In a large family, children have to learn how to share pretty quickly, knowing that if they refuse to share, they stand at risk of being the less liked sibling. This way, the child is made to learn to put others' interests together with his own, and at the same time learn a sense of responsibility towards contributions and actions that concern everyone in the family. How does the large family size affect the functionality of a family? Less parent-child intimacy. There is always something going on with one child or the other. But how would you notice this if there is limited personal interaction between you and the child in question? This is one of the salient issues that plague big-sized families. When a child is hurting emotionally, it is easy to overlook them if the other children seem fine. This is not the fault of the guardian, it is the result of having lesser time to speak and hear what the child has to say. Less personal time and space. Having a large family size is all fun and games when you need company. But what happens when you just need a moment alone? A moment to your ideas, thoughts, and emotions. The likelihood of getting your alone time when you have a big family is minimal. There is always one more person in the room. More so, you are likely to feel like everywhere is crowded. Leave the sitting room for the bedroom, someone else is there. Going to the kitchen, another family member. This overlapping presence can cause more stress and arguments for all the parties involved, especially if the house is not so huge. Plus, it reduces the number of things you can purchase because you always have to think of available space. More expenses. Well, this should have come at the top of the list because it is one of the first effects you would be sure to notice. There is always one need to be met. The bills pile up more than they would have if the family was a smaller size. Tuition, feeding, gifts, health, insurance fees, extracurricular activities, school trips, or even family vacation. The mathematics of it is simple. With one more child comes a 100% increase in expenditure as opposed to expenses accrued with just one child. Should I have a child, 2 children, or more than 2 children? The truth is, with family planning, it is impossible to decide head-on which family size is the ideal type. You could be quick to favor small family sizes because it opens up the door to better child-parent relationships or because of its financial impact. But what happens when your child needs a back to lay on? And just before you praise the diversity that comes with big family sizes, have you thought of the possibility of one of the children feeling sidelined or less important to the family? Or the impact of larger families on the Earth's population? What you want to do is to sit and analyze which of the family sizes would suit your financial and emotional capacity. Instead of jumping head first, have time to foresee the events of both types of families and what it means for you as a parent. Did this video provide a better way to understand both family sizes? If you think we missed something important, tell us in the comments. Till next time, friend.